above and so forth. So I'm going to plead ignorance.
Okay. Representative Lilly.
Well, now there's a plan on the city's table and will include New Mexico. It's called the Southern Relief Route, and it would bring trucks over the Anthony Gap and really make a whole circle of bypass for El Paso, which is absolutely necessary. In those plans, there is some money to widen Artcraft or do whatever they have to do with Artcraft. So I would like to see that implemented, and that'll take a great deal of pressure off the city and the Upper Valley.
Thank you. Those were the questions that we had prepared. We're going to take a 10-minute break, so we will be back at 7:35, at which point we will have questions from the audience. And also each candidate will have an opportunity to verbally ask another candidate any question you choose. So for these 10 minutes, if you'd like to formulate in your mind any question you'd like to ask any other candidate. And we'll be back at 7:35. What is your relationship and commitment to Woody Hunt, Bill Sanders, and other business leaders with business interest in Santa Teresa?
I don't have any commitment. I didn't even know Woody Hunt owned anything. I do know Bill Sanders and who.
Bill Sanders and Woody Hunt was specifically mentioned here, but I'm sure they're referring to the members of the Political Action Committee as well who donated to your...
I have no commitment to either one, but I didn't even know Woody Hunt owned any property.
This is for Manny Hinojosa. When you talk about being business friendly, what does business friendly mean to you? Please be very specific. Tax abatements, licensing, cutting red tape through building codes at City Hall.
Well, you kind of answered half of my question there. That is the restrictions, the codes, the permits. I spoke to Mr. Redimer, I believe is his name. He's the head of the Central Business Association. And still, they had just had a meeting that was supposed to be communication and seminars and dissemination of information, and still he told me, we still need a tighter communication and control and cooperation with permits, with regulations, and with inspections. And I was amazed to hear. I think part of the problem is that sometimes we talk over each other. And so I have to go back to that. We start with a friendly attitude. You know, when I go to the 7th floor at City Hall, which, by the way, I've been going to their meetings every Tuesday for about the last 6 months, so I'm already your representative unofficially, but maybe I'll get paid for it this time. When I go to the 7th floor and I look at the left-hand side as you walk in, they have a commitment. They have like the characteristics of good service, or the promise, or the pledge of good service. And I find that that's still missing with some of the inspectors. Example, if you come to inspect my home that I'm building, there's two major ways you can respond to me. You can either say, that doesn't pass code, I'll come back tomorrow, and turn away. Or you can say, that doesn't pass code because this is what we're looking for. Do you know where to get this size pipe, the ID and the OD? This is what we need. If you will do that, I'll come back this afternoon, or I'll approve you before the day's over. That attitude is missing. And that's where we start.
Thank you. This question is for all the candidates. What is your stance on health benefits to gay and unwed partners of city employees? And we will begin with Representative Lilly.
Well, the citizens voted not to give benefits to the domestic partners. And so, quite frankly, I will honor that. I do honor that vote. Now it's in court, and it's in the federal court, and whatever happens there, I will honor whatever that commitment is.
Mr. Schechter?
The rationale given for extending benefits was equality. And I maintain that the current benefits and the way they're distributed just in general to everybody that works at the city is not equal. That is, if you have 5 children, you get a whole lot more benefit from medical coverage than if you're just a single or 2 And so the benefits, which everybody considers part of your salary, is not equal to begin with. So I would first start with changing the benefit structure of the city and moving it toward what industry or some industry has gone to, private industry, and that's to what's called a cafeteria plan. That is, you get allotted a pot of money, let's say $1,000, just for round numbers, and then you can pick whichever coverages you want for as many people as you want, and you tailor your benefits to you and your family. But everybody gets the same pot of money to go buy stuff with, say $1,000. To me, that's fair. And I don't think anybody can argue then if it's your $1,000 where you should spend it. Okay? So if you want to spend it on your non-wedded wife or spouse, it's your money to do with as you want. And nobody should be able to say anything about it.
Okay, Mr. Hinojosa?
Is that the same question?
Yes, what is your stance on?
No, thank you very much. This has been the most controversial issue, and I think it's no secret that that's what got me into this situation. I'd like to first say that I don't mean any harm to anyone who doesn't have a traditional life. I don't mean to take anything away from them. I don't mean to harm them in any way, whether they're gay or not gay, or joyful or not joyful. The issue here is that it's already been proven by psychologists and sociologists way before I was born that a strong family unit is the secret to a strong city, country, community, etc. Therefore, when we are in a position of authority, and when El Paso has already voted on this issue, that they do want the traditional family held up, protected, and considered sanctity, the sanctity of it protected. That's what we have to do. We have to protect the sanctity of marriage, because that's where the strength of the family comes from. That doesn't mean that anyone who doesn't have a traditional family should be in any way castigated, but to use our tax dollars to promote a lifestyle that is not the best we can strive for, we cannot do that, and the city of El Paso has spoken in November about that.
Okay. Ms. Ness Garcia, just as Mr. Hinojosa surfaced in the public eye during this, you did as well in the opposite side of the spectrum. What is your stance on?
Absolutely. I think that it's a basic civil rights issue. I think that if there's not justice for any segment of our community, there's not justice for all of us. And so I maintain that I do believe in equality. I actually do believe in what Mr. Schechter is talking about, which is a pro rata type of program in terms of health care, because
Can you put your microphone closer?
because that would allow the sense of fairness in terms of taxpayers feeling reluctant that they're paying for quote-unquote a lifestyle they don't approve of. However, remember, when people don't have health care and they go to hospitals, who do you think pays for that? You and I do. Because the hospital sure as heck doesn't say, hey, you know what, here's an uninsured person, I'm just going to eat that cost. They pass it on to us in our taxes. And so the cost-benefit analysis for folks, the more insured people you have, the better it is for us. When you look statistically, every major competitive metropolitan area offers domestic partnership for unwed or gay or lesbian partners. 60 to 70% of Fortune 500 companies offer it. The El Paso Times offers it. And one of the reasons is it makes you competitive. It makes you attract the type of white-collar businesses that we want to attract to El Paso, because we don't want, we don't want the Western refineries, the Asarcos. We need high-quality jobs that keep all our UTEP grads here. Am I up? Thank you.
Dr. Ware Asbury?
My personal beliefs are not the issue here. I believe in social justice. I am a recipient and a benefactor of civil rights. But the people have spoken, and as a city representative, it is my responsibility to carry out the wishes of the people.
Okay, thank you. This next question is for Representative Lilly. Since you received a sizable donation from several land developers, do you feel it's appropriate to vote on any proposals or matters concerning the development of the land off Trans Mountain Road?
When I voted on Trans Mountain, I had not received any donations from any developers that had property off there. I voted for Trans Mountain for a safety reason, because I think it is needed. In the last year, and that was a while back, there were over 100 accidents on Trans Mountain. 10 of them very serious accidents. One lady lost a leg, and there were 2 fatalities.